you can't see this, but we've just received the report. This is the summary of it, and it opens with the line, the impeachment inquiry into Donald J. Trump, the 45th president of the United States, uncovered a months-long effort by President Trump to use the powers of his office to solicit foreign interference on his behalf in the 2020 election. That is the first page of it. Then you go to the preface, and it says, the report reflects the evidence gathered thus far by the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence in coordination with the Committee on Oversight and Reform and the Committee on Foreign Affairs. It is a culmination of an investigation that began in September 2019 and intensified over the past 3 months. It is a fairly detailed, in fact, it is a 17-page summary.
And let's give you, because in the same way we think about the Mueller report, the first and the very last line of the report. The president's campaign of intimidation risks discouraging witnesses from coming forward voluntarily, complying with mandatory subpoenas for documents and testimony, and disclosing potentially incriminating evidence in this inquiry and future congressional investigations. Right there, that last line is another hint that the president's unwillingness to participate in this inquiry could result in an additional article of impeachment of obstruction.
The executive summary begins with the president's misconduct. That is one of the subheadings. Then it moves to the president's obstruction of the House of Representatives impeachment inquiry. Now, this is important, Garrett, because those two things, misconduct and obstruction of the House of Representatives impeachment inquiry, we know that those are things that are likely to form the basis for articles of impeachment. But there is a further discussion amongst House Democrats as to whether anything related to the Mueller report should form either a third or a fourth article of impeachment.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we knew we were looking at least these two broad buckets here, right? Misuse of the presidential power here as regards to Ukraine, and then obstruction as a secondary bucket. There's some debate among Democrats about whether either the substance of what was in Robert Mueller's report more broadly, or just the focus on obstruction in the Mueller report could either become a separate article for Democrats to consider, or whether the obstructive actions that the president took or the administration took, as outlined in the Mueller report, could become part of that second article on obstruction more broadly. So this is an ongoing debate among Democrats. How big do they want to make this? Remember, from the get-go, you had Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, saying they wanted to keep this inquiry as narrow as possible. But like you might imagine, in a group of more than 200 members, there are some factions and some disagreements among Democrats about whether it's useful to include the president's prior conduct in a possible article of impeachment, or even whether it might be politically useful to put some of this out here in an article that some Democrats could vote against. You could make the political argument that for Democrats to perhaps consider 3, 4 articles on the floor and vote for only 1 or 2 of them would allow them essentially a talking point to say that they've reviewed this more thoroughly, that it's not merely a partisan effort, and in fact, they're judging all of these charges on the merits. This is a moving target for Democrats. This is very much an active discussion. Remember, even last night on Rachel Maddow's program, Adam Schiff said that the Intel Committee is going to continue its investigative work. Even as they hand the baton to the Judiciary Committee, he said they might be issuing more subpoenas, calling in more witnesses, and reviewing more evidence. So it's entirely possible that this will be a moving target up until the point that the Judiciary Committee would have to approve articles to send to the floor.
Hey, MSNBC fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there and click on any of the videos here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. You can get more MSNBC for free every day with our newsletters. Just visit msnbc.com/newsletters to sign up now.